Are you kind of like a modern day pickup artist coach?
Do you think I am? I don't know.
I'm asking you.
I would say I'm the modern day masculinity coach. And I know lots of men are like, oh, what can women tell you about masculinity? What can women ever know about masculinity? The reason we know is because we know what we respond to, and we know that what we don't respond to. And the only thing women respond to is masculinity, nothing else. I'll meet men that go to therapy, and I'll have a couple, and he'll say, she doesn't respect me, and she dismisses my feelings, and my feelings are valid, and blah, blah. And I said, look, the only thing women, and I've gone to therapy and I've done work on myself, and he talks like this. I said, look, the only thing women respect is masculinity, nothing else. You can be a therapist in the making, you can be a billionaire. But if you're not masculine in either of those areas, if you're like, if you're like a Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, you might be a billionaire. But if you're not masculine enough, you won't have enough sex appeal to keep her interested in you. And I think that's what men forget, that it's the only thing women respond to is masculinity. And what is masculinity? The ability to provide, protect, and have children. That's it. Be a responsible man. That's all it really is. It doesn't involve writing poems and being, going to therapy for hours on end and, all of this nonsense. It's just, are you providing? Are you protecting? Are you procreating? Beyond that, it also just means being less emotional and more logical. I know people are telling you need to be emotional, you need to be sensitive. No, the truth is women don't respond well to men who are sensitive. They don't respond to men who know all their problems. They respond to men who can solve all their own problems. So the more of a problem solver you are and the more masculine you are, you'll be fine. What do you think?
You would know what women want more than I do, because I'm not a woman. And also you're a therapist, so I guess you've had many men as clients.
Yeah.
So you would know that part. I suppose in terms of being a man and what masculinity is, because that's a hot topic right now. And I think there's all these people who call themselves alpha and sigma males. I just don't think that's what masculinity is.
No.
I think we've got to get rid of all this bravado. I definitely think someone who can solve problems for someone. Like if you're the leader of a company and you're very good at solving problems, you're going to attract good staff.
Yeah.
So I definitely think of a very good problem solver. I agree that it's quite feminine to wallow in and go through and bathe in all your emotions. And I think that that's a feminine trait, not a masculine trait. And my son's 14 and I'm now seriously thinking, do I have to teach him how to fight and defend himself, where it used to be safe in Peterborough and now outside a shopping centre, the biggest shopping centre in Peterborough, in broad daylight, you've got teenagers stamping on other teenagers' heads.
Awful.
And, you go to London, you wear a nice watch, you could get stabbed and murdered for that. So I think, as a dad, teaching your children to look after themselves. You talk a lot about, people talk a lot about, how you teach a child. For me, I think it's just preparing them for how the world is.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing. A lot of will teach you that you just have to give them unconditional love. Lots of unconditional love. You got to, validate their feelings, and then, then they'll feel loved. And as long as they feel loved, it's all good. The real world's not going to love you. The real world is probably going to hate you. So you give them love. Absolutely, you give them love. But the key is, like, again, I know I bring it back down to my culture a lot. But one thing I would say that I hated growing up, and I think I see it in Chinese families and Indian parents and Pakistani as well, they don't really care about like you becoming happy. All they care about is get married, have children, be successful with education. Those three things. And they've instilled that in you. Now, Western world will see that as narcissistic, like you shouldn't do that, you should just love them unconditionally. But I think what that culture understood is by getting married, having kids, and focusing on your education and work, a byproduct of that is you'll be happy. A successful life is a happy life. But what the modern way of teaching you is a happy life first and then worry about success. But actually happiness is an outcome of success. And they've got it the wrong way around. They don't want their kids to be successful anymore. They just want their kids to be happy, love. They don't realize that children actually thrive when they are problem solving, when they are exerting their maximum effort, when they're trying their absolute best rather than being unconditionally accepted for all their nonsense. So I actually think that we need to take away the unconditional love obsession and replace it with you unconditionally want what's best for them, even if they hate you in the moment. And even if they dislike your parenting, you know what's best for them and you encourage them to achieve that rather than just love them through every poor behavior that they might have. Which is why I see so many kids like confused with their gender, confused with this and with their sexuality, and it's because they have parents that would be like, whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. Kids don't even know what they want for dinner.